So very strange goal conceded by Asante Kotoko, but a lovely goal scored there by Andrews Kojoa-Powell. I love such goals because you don't typically see dead ball goals in our league, especially even in our national teams. They are very rare. So when somebody scores a glancing header from literally the last kick of the game, it's interesting. So just quick thoughts on that game. I mean, both goals, we saw the goal Kotoko conceded, and then what they also managed to get right to the death before the game.
I mean, both goals were poor in different ways. And I'll start with the goalkeeping for the Olympics goal. It's very, I mean, the goalkeeper, we see keepers do this all the time. It's like they are trailing the ball, trying to see whether to go out. Yeah. But it's like he didn't know the dimensions of his pole. Because, like, how do you follow it? Like you're checking to see if it goes out and it just sneaks past you. That's unacceptable. And, you know, Dan Lad is not in the teams at the chance. You are thinking that this is your chance to stake your claim, show that you can be number one, get a transfer to go somewhere later so you can be number one there. If you do this right now, everyone watching you will say that that's why you're number two. Yeah. So you stay number two, you know. And for the set piece, Coach mentioned it whilst we were watching it, the defensive line for the free kick. Yeah. You know, once you're in your 6-yard box, you've made it very difficult for your keeper to even come and claim the ball.
You can barely see what's
because there's not a lot of space. It's not even about visibility. It's not there's space for him to kind of run and jump.
Yeah.
And because you saw he tried to punch, but because the ball was so close to him, it just so if they had kind of moved a bit out, giving him at least the 6-yard box, because you know initially in football the 6-yard box, players weren't allowed to challenge for the ball when the keeper was challenging the 6-yard box. The rule was later changed, but we still have the box there. So the idea of the 6-yard box is that's your keeper's domain. Even though we don't have that rule anymore, you should at least leave it for your keeper to kind of have that space. Because it's not like it's a corner. You can play an offside line with it and give him a bit of space to kind of go for the ball.
And again, once they decided to do the defending in the 6-yard box, they should not go zonal. They should now what? Man mark. But if you look,
you can't afford to lose the header.
Yes, of course. Because once they decided that they are going to bring the defensive line deep into the 6-yard box, then they should be doing man marking. But if you go back to that goal again, it was clear that it was a zonal marking. So once the off the ball runners had sneak in front of any of the defensive line, it was a slight touch.
Yeah.
Just to take it away from the goalkeeper. Just glance off his head and into the back of the net. So to our coaches, for some of us, when we see these things, it's a bit disturbing. First of all, the defensive line was wrong. It shouldn't have gone into the 6-yard box. Once, you decide to do that, then you have to go man marking and make sure nobody is caught running off the ball to come and challenge for it. You should be blocking their runs, because in terms of numbers, there were more Olympics players in the box than Asante Kotoko players. Yeah. So as to how the Kotoko players could outrun or be first to the ball, if you're a coach, you wouldn't be happy with that.
Asante Kotoko gets in their points. I'm sure they'll be happy with it. Let's check out the full list of results for match week 11.